All right, hi everyone. It's Martin, Mary, and Bill. And today's question is, do you really understand social media? So I'm going to throw this question out there just to my teammates and just to get the conversation going. But Mary, do you know who Jay Na is?
No.
Bill, do you know who Jay Na is?
No, I can't say I do know who Jane Knott is.
So if I said Weibo to you, do you guys know what that is?
What?
Art?
No.
So yeah, so I didn't either. But as I started to dig around a little bit, Jay Na has 130 million followers and is one of the most influential people on the other side of the globe in China and other Asian countries on their version of one of the social media applications. So it's interesting kind of kicking it around, understanding the real impact of these social media networks and applications worldwide. So Bill, do you use Facebook by chance?
Occasionally. I'm not a big fan, but occasionally I do use it.
And Mary, how about yourself?
I do. I wish I didn't, but it's a little too late now that everything's already there.
Well, I tell you, until we kind of came up with this question, I didn't really understand the depth and breadth of these social networks around the world. But Facebook's one, YouTube is second, WhatsApp is third, but Facebook has 2.9 billion users and growing at 6% a year, which I found pretty interesting. And here's a kind of crazy fact that most Facebook users are in India. There's 270 million, which is more than twice what's in the US. So, but as I dug around, and you guys are interested too, I was kind of thinking, where do you get your news, Mary? Do you get your news from
Television.
Interesting. And Bill, how about yourself?
I get both from television and also on the radio. Sometimes I listen to some radio channels, a Sirius radio, and then occasionally I'll use my. I get email. They send me news in the email. It's like Apple News or something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
It's interesting kind of thinking about it, and this is what's a little trippy about it, but 7 out of 10 Americans use Facebook. And of those 7 out of 10, almost half use it routinely and daily, but most adult users get their news off social media these days, not official news sources. So now it's starting to click with me on all this election stuff and the ability to send disinformation, but the amount of functional verified news out there, isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. Wow.
And
I worry about the manipulation of what eyes are seeing.
yeah, so pulling that thought, Mary, I know you're associated with a lot of young folks, but I think they look at Instagram more often. Do you find that's true for the people around you?
They really like the Snapchat, Instagram as well. And I can't remember where they get their news from, but it's neither of those, nor is it TV. But there are some websites that they feel are truthful in reporting the news, and that's where they like to pull their facts from. Speaking from my own experience, but I don't remember the website now. I'll have to find that one out.
Yeah, as we kind of dig around this, and I've done some, we're certainly not experts, and we're not certified to necessarily talk about what we do, but we're like everybody else. We just go try to understand and do research off of other places we found. But here's an interesting kind of crazy fact, right? So, and Bill, have you heard of Twitter?
Yes, I actually have a Twitter account, but I don't use it very often.
And Mary, have you heard of Twitter?
Okay, so this is interesting because I got rid of my Twitter a couple of weeks ago because something on social media told me to, and I don't remember why I did that now. How's that for brainwashed?
Yeah, I think I remember that too. And there was some.
It was like, Twitter is bad. Get rid of Twitter for X, Y, and Z reason. And I went, okay, I can do that. I believe in that. And then I disengaged my Twitter account, and 2 weeks later, don't remember why I did it. But no, I had Twitter, could never understand how to use it, got frustrated. And so when they told me I should cancel it, I did.
Well, the reason I kind of bring that up is because most Americans understand what Twitter is, but there's 15 social networks between Facebook at the top and Twitter that exist that and Twitter almost has, 500 million people, 400 million people using it, but there are probably 50 networks that have 500 million people using them. Isn't that amazing? And
Yeah.
between Kayashu and Pinterest and Douyin and TikTok and QQ, but to really understand the impact of how people get information these days, you really have to understand the impacts around social networks. So, but it's pretty interesting. What I found most scary is just how people get news and information these days. So most millennials, over half, get their news primarily from social networks. Isn't that amazing?
That is not only amazing, it's a little alarming.
Yeah, talk about being able to brainwash an entire population if you had the ability to do that with technology. I mean, I think a lot of people don't like to watch the TV news because it's so politicized and it's all ads. I know that's why I get tired of. I flick from channel to channel to channel. I move on to the next channel, and I don't
Well,
sit
it's
there very
so
long.
one-sided depending on which channel you flip. So you have to flip back and forth to get a balanced news report.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Yeah, I love to
It's
see
so
the
aggravating.
opposite perspectives and just even word choice they use in when they put their headlines on the little
Yeah.
bar goes on the bottom of your screen.
But then you wonder, I mean, I know that someone close to me was doing some research on, the manipulation of what we see and how true is it really and who's controlling what's out there,
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We designed these things to be about 7 minutes, but this question leaves me with more questions than answers today. And as we kind of wrap it up, we encourage you, and our conclusion is that most people don't understand the true impacts of social media networks. So we encourage you to do a little research and really understand. This is Mary, Bill, and Martin out.